Well, first of all, I sit down, no joke, and I say, God, I don't even know how to pray. And sometimes I can't even pray for myself, and that's when I ask friends of mine or even family members, hey, can you pray for me? And prayer is so important. Sometimes it's not just praying things away either. Sometimes it's praying and fasting. Sometimes it's even talking with somebody and letting them know what you're going through. Maybe you get a gold nugget of wisdom or a practical thing that you could do differently, or maybe it's just having someone else know that you're going through it and they check in with you every step of the way. Another thing though, an exercise that I do when I'm depressed is to write down the things that I'm still thankful for and make tiny goals. So much of life is about distraction and this idea and that idea. And I feel like when you're thankful for what you have and then seeing what you have and then making small goals to build up your confidence and help you get your bearings again and come back to being present in your mind and not living in the past.
And the world is a hurting place, and the world needs hope, and the world needs love. Without hope, we feel like, why are we here? Well, brokenness. Here's mine. Today, I still have no arms, no legs, but everything's changed. Everything. For me, I was looking for hope and happiness, and I couldn't see it for many years. In fact, if this side of the table represents my hope, truth encourages me to become all that I can be. But then we have lies every day coming in our mind, people who discourage us. You know, the people that you have in your life who, no matter how good of a day you're having, they'll bring you down. Or no matter how bad of a day you're having, they'll bring you even lower. You know what I'm talking about? Think of the 3 biggest discouragers in your life. They're not your biggest discouragers. You are. It only takes 3 seconds for me to tell you something discouraging, but then you may never forget my words. I've met so many 50-year-old women and 40-year-old women who still remember what their fathers told them that they wish they never heard. Words are powerful. When you hear those words and then your mind starts growing with these lies. When I'm 24 years old, 5-6 years ago, I was in California and I never met anybody else like me. When I was 10 years old, I wish I would have met somebody like me. Never did. Didn't get that miracle. But at 24, in California, I saw a little boy with no arms and no legs, 19 months old, just like me. I knew he was going to be bullied. I knew he was going to go through depression. I knew he would feel alone. I knew that he would get worried if he's ever going to have a girlfriend, and so on and so on. I got the father to bring him up on stage in front of 2,000 people, and everyone was crying. And it was a materialization of when you don't get a miracle, you can be a miracle for someone else. I am not a superhero. I go through ups and downs. So do you. But take one day at a time. And if you haven't found that peace of knowing who you are and why you're here and where you're going when you're not here, for me, I want you to know that's how I've overcome. I don't have any walls. My book's called Life Without Limits. And what will be, I've acted in a short film, 30 awards. I got Best Actor in a Short Film.
And my joy is not dependent on my circumstance. And so through my book, Life Without Limits, in the first chapter, if you can't get a miracle, become one, came from the principle that I learned as a child of when you don't have a friend, be a friend. I used to think, well, God, why can't you just separate the clouds of this storm away? Why can't you just take me out of this, place that I'm in and change my circumstance? But I realized in my life that if God doesn't change the circumstance, He'll use the circumstance. No one knew what kind of life I would be able to live, and I never thought that I'd be able to do a double degree in accounting and financial planning. I never thought that God would be able to use me without arms and legs to be His hands and feet. I don't understand God. In Jeremiah chapter 29 verse 11, when my mum and dad said that God had a hope plan in the future, a plan to prosper me and not to harm me, I didn't understand that. Maybe that might be offensive to you right now if I say God is perfect and He never makes a mistake, if maybe you just lost a loved one or you're in a circumstance that does look harmful.